You, Me, and Tuscany is the latest rom-com that has just come out or is about to come out as I'm filming this video. It stars Halle Bailey and Rege Page from Bridgerton fame. And Halle Bailey, we know her from the Little Mermaid live action, and she's also this amazing singer. So the basic premise of this is that Halle Bailey plays a character who is this down on her luck house sitter. She has a dead mom, and her character is very much kind of like not really the best with money. She's kind of irresponsible. She has a best friend who's always kind of like checking her, and she kind of has a not a one night stand, but she meets this very handsome Italian stranger who basically tells Hallie's character about how he has bought a villa in his country, and he feels like he's letting his family down because like he won't partake in the family business, but he has a villa there and it's empty, and he's never there. And then that really begins the story because um he kind of inspires her and tells her that she needs to go to Italy. So then she goes to Italy because she's had like this ticket that her mom bought her a while ago. She's there. She has no place to stay. But then she remembers, oh, this handsome Italian stranger told me about his villa. He basically invited me. I'm just going to go. Okay. So, okay, watching this movie, I was reminded on how, even with rom coms, we kind of have to suspend our disbelief because right when she gets there, she basically essentially breaks into this man's home in Italy. She meets his family, and then and this is in the trailer, but she kind of lies saying that like, hey, I'm engaged to your son, and then they all just kind of really easily believe her. Okay, it was here, and then I was like, there's I mean, there no questions. Like, are you gonna call him? Like, it was just all kind of strange to me. But then I was like, you know what? I'm along for the ride. This is a rom com. I'm just gonna go along with it. And what can I say about Halle Bailey? Because she is our main character here. She is the protagonist. Okay, and I would say Rege Page is like second billing. I think she is a beautiful girl with a lovely angel baby voice. The acting in this did not always quite work for me, and it's not awful, but it just kind of feels like I'm watching someone trying to act. Do you get what I mean? Like, there's different types of acting styles, so I definitely see this working for people, but for me, I think I just really respond to performances that just feel just a little bit more organic and effortless. And it's not that she is awful, but I do feel like there are instances throughout the film where I feel like I'm watching somebody who has not done that much of this type of work. And so I'm trying my best on this day on set to act out these words right now, you know? And that's just how I felt about it. But when it comes to Halle and Ray Jean Page's chemistry together, I thought it was fine. I thought, you know what, this fits the standards for a rom com. And I know that there's been quite a lot of chatter about this movie and how there's so much pressure on this movie to do well in order for there to be more rom coms, namely for there to be more rom coms with people of color. And I'm just upset about like why is the oneness on this one rom-com? That's too much pressure. Okay, that's too much pressure. Even the greatest actors that we have had living today have had bad films and stinkers, which by the way, this movie is not bad. It's not a stinker, but I'm just trying to make a point. Like, if you have a career that's it's going to span a decade or more, they're not all going to be winners and hits. Okay, they're just not. So I'm not appreciating the fact that there's so much pressure on this. But anyway, back to You, Me, and Tuscany. The chemistry is fine. It's not terrible, but it's just not anything that is electrifying and like fiery enough for my taste. I feel like when you watch this movie, there will be groups of people who really love it, and then there could be people in my camp who think it was fine. And when I say that it's fine, I think this was a perfectly fine one time watch. I don't really see myself visiting this anytime soon. Not because I think it's bad, but because I just don't have that much of a pull or interest to like turn this on. Maybe if I am doing, some laundry on a Sunday and it's on, I might leave it so I could stare at Rege. Maybe if I'm watching it socially, like I have some people over, like I'm over someone's house and like we're like, yeah, sure, put that on. Like it's perfectly watchable. It's fine. The locations were really pretty. I saw in the credits that they actually did film in Italy, which I liked that because, as we all know, movies lie to us. They filmed Toronto saying that it's New York when it's not. So, I didn't know that they really shot in Italy. So it's really cool. I saw like Tuscany and Rome were in the credits. So I do love that. And it makes me want to go to Italy. I want to visit a vineyard. I want to eat some pasta there. I want to have some tasty looking sandwiches there. I want to have the wine there. So props to the location scouts. I mean, if you are into the standard feel good, turn your brain off, and you're just along for the ride rom-com, this is going to be for you. If you're craving for that type of meal, this will serve you. If you are expecting the wheel to be reinvented, if you want non-tropey, non-cliches, this is just not going to be for you. You're going to be disappointed. So I think it all depends on what you're expecting, what you want from this. And that's how you will decide if you want to take your time to sit there and watch this movie. But thank you guys so much for checking out my review. I really appreciate it. If you're enjoying this content, please consider subscribing and leave me a comment, leave me a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys next time.